From days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolf, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Hey guys, it is Tuesday and we are back after a long Canadian Thanksgiving, because up here in the freezing cold white north, well, we have Thanksgiving before you guys down in the States. So I hope everybody filled up on turkey. That is in the frozen tundra, that is Canada, and stuffed yourself stupid with enough turkey to last you at least until Christmas. So hope everybody had a great weekend. I want to say hi to everybody that so far has joined into the chat as well. We got Mr. Gumby. Hello. Good day, Mr. Gumby. Glad to see you here. We have Killer Rabbit from Space. Greetings, human. LOL. You're from Monty Python's Flying Circus, aren't you? To which he said, yes, I am. So, greetings, Killer Rabbit from Space. Nice to see you here, dude. And we got the illustrious gamer himself, Lenrod. Hey, Lenrod, how's it going, my man? Nice to see you here. We got Rocco the Brave. Perfect timing installing AC. I need a few hours of entertainment. Hail all. Hail to you, Rocco the Brave. So, and as we do all the time on this show, we introduce our panelists that are insane enough to join me on a Titillating Tuesday and pretty much almost every live broadcast that I have. So, without further ado...
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
I am Canadian. Hello, Foggy Brains. How's it going, dude?
So you get the reference. That's
Of course I get the reference.
Molson Canadian. Check it. It's on YouTube. It's an awesome commercial.
Exactly. It was the perfect, awesome commercial. They need more commercials like that. Man.
Yes, we do.
And all the way from New York, our antsy little fellow that's here and provides the rest of the entertainment on this channel, Admiral Teague. How's it going, dude?
I'm doing great. You're too kind. It's beautiful in New York, seasonable, and I'm happy to be here. And the Jets won this week.
I know, didn't they, though?
Yeah, and as you know, we've been through death and life together. I went up 200 subs, down 175 subs, and now I'm ticking back up like a dozen subs every few hours. YouTube seems to have taken some of them back, and I got to thank Anti-Derivative Joe, who at least commented to me, oh, they did the same thing to me. Watch for them to start showing up in a day. So like what I did was, instead of firing everyone from my show and screaming at them, I waited on that, and the stuff started returning. So, hey guys, good news. The food replicators in your quarters are getting turned back up to 1080.
Sweet. Awesome. And I want to say hello to Pops. Pops, how's it going, dude? I'm glad that you're here, man. We still got to make time for the change. And he knows exactly what comic I'm talking about, because that's that Whoopi Goldberg comic that should be coming soon. So,
oh God, yes.
Oh God, yeah. And we're going to be doing a reading of that. At least I hope so. So
Whoopi Goldberg can fund a comic. We agree that she has that kind of large chest, but
Yes.
What was this like? Somebody who was competent went to her and was like, "I just need money," and she didn't fuck it up, or is this going to be like a Star Trek comic, or what is it? Is it a new Trek comic?
No. This is a superhero comic by Whoopi Goldberg, and apparently she gets her powers through menstruation.
Menstruating.
Yes. So
wait, I thought that was Amelia Clark's comic.
No, we talked about it here before in an episode.
Wait, so there's two mensy women.
Oh yeah,
there's two my aunts and friends, superpower girls.
Yeah,
most all of them are. So, but
yeah,
and hail my aunt's friend.
And hail Saber the Doom Squirrel. How's it going, my dude? Nice to see you here.
Squirrely.
Well, Foggy, did you have a good Thanksgiving weekend?
Good food, of course.
Right.
But sad part, we didn't realize Dad ended up getting COVID while we were there. It's like,
really?
So, I mean, now I'm sick too, but I'm worried more about him because he's 73, so he's getting up there. And he's working friggin' a job too because he had to repair his roof and stuff. I'm like, why did an elderly have to go back to work at that age? But anyway, exactly. I'm going to check on him daily, just make sure Mom's looking after him, but she's getting sick too. So, besides that, it was good food, as always.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
And Bob says Canadians and your metric holidays.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's in another 3 weeks, another like 7 weeks, you maniacs.
Yeah. The power is, according to Pops, via menopause. Yeah, power via menopause. Delayed to March 2024. Oh my, I wonder why that
I want to see She-Ra yelling that like before she transforms. For the power of menopause.
By the power of genetics.
She's had a lot of heat against her lately, so she's probably keeping herself quiet.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You know, it dawns on me real quick in the Ahsoka series when they level up that one attractive woman into a witch. Like, she gets like super ugly really fast. Like, was it by the power of ugliness? It was like that was kind of like a reverse She-Ra-ism. It's like, whoa, like she went from okay to kiss makeup in like a half a second.
Exactly. It's the power of Star Wars. Okay, so
let's take our beautiful female star and make her ugly on purpose. That'll get us people.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what we do every Titillating Tuesday and a Frantic Friday, because you want to stay tuned for that and all that kind of stuff. So please hit the like and subscribe button as well as you are new here. We do Stupid News of the Week, and this one comes out of left field. By King Flippy Nips, who showed me this. Plus size women admit they aren't attracted to overweight men.
Wow, talk about double standards.
Yes. Hold on.
How come you have to love me? I'm beautiful, but fat men are gross.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I want to be rocking my dad bod. Come on.
Hell yeah. I'm not even dad, but I'll rock it. Yeah, I got
that. So how come it's okay for them, but it's not okay for us?
I don't know, but in other news, water, wet.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But not this woman for a fat man.
Yeah. If that was the case, Steven Seagal would be rocking it right now.
I'm remembering Rodney Dangerfield back to school. Are you big? Are you fat? Let's face it.
Yeah.
Do you hear words like morbidly, frequently? Come down to my big and fat store, Maloney's.
Yeah, exactly. God, please, people, for the love of God. It's the best Robert
Downey Jr. movie.
It is. This is God. This is a health issue. It's not. Oh God, please, people out there, like and I'm including myself as well. You gain a few pounds. Try your best to lose it because there are health implications. There's nothing attractive. Me personally, this is just me personally, to seeing not just women but men as well. Like there's nothing attractive about it. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. As a photographer who works with models, and there's some women that can be have some extra weight and carry it nicely. I'm not going to say, but when you get the obese, like Lizzo and what's the Irish one, redheaded one, you get ones like that who like to perpetuate this. It's beautiful. It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's not.
It's not healthy.
Really not.
You know what? And Lizzo might be to people who have a weight problem. what Keith Richards was to heroin addicts and smokers. It's like, here's this exception that disproves the rule, apparently. But not everyone's going to get away with what Lizzo gets away with. I don't have any problem with Lizzo. I don't find her entertaining, but other people seem to. And she seems to be, her fame comes from that she can sing and play a couple of instruments. Like, she actually does have talent.
Oh, she does.
Right, so
voice easily, yeah.
So maybe we core a human being out of the 5 people we see in front of us one day, and she makes it and she stays healthy. Because if you love Lizzo, you want Lizzo around for a long time. And Lizzo is like, she's maybe a little over the line. And I'm not going to say that Lizzo has no charisma or magnetism, because she moves too many tickets for me to dismiss her.
Oh,
will I make Perjil jokes about her when we talk about Ashoka? Yes, I will.
There we go. Mr. Gumby, Disney plus size.
You know, the funny thing, I'm going to just bring this up, is when Lizzo started to lose weight, she wanted to start exercising. The community attacked her for wanting to be healthy.
Exactly.
If I was her publicist, I would be like, could you imagine this one? I tried that diet, shit ain't working. I want you to get me off the hook. He's like, all right, attack Lizzo for losing weight. And she was just like, eating cake. She's like, I'm a genius. She might just be that smart.
Remember Adele? Because the same thing happened to her too. Because she was a little up in weight. Fantastic singer. Don't get me wrong, but she wanted to lose some weight, and then immediately, because she was starting to do that, because she was thinking about her health,
she got shit from people.
Attacked. Yes,
Kate Winslet has the same problem.
Yeah, it is so ridiculous. However, Kate Winslet, she does very well.
I just want, she's great, and I just want to say, as far as what was the Rolling in the Deep chick? As far as Adele goes, I mean, the tragedy of that is that there was a guy who put a lot of time into being toxic and angry, and spent his time being a real dick, and we got that great Adele album out of it, and we haven't had that kind of Adele album since she's been happy. I'm not saying be Sinead O'Connor, but maybe she needs to, like, I don't know, drink too much for a little while, have another like rough run of life, because it's been a little boring.
And by no way, we're reiterating that it's don't be mean to people with overweight. No, I'm against that. No, we don't.
And by the way, this woman in the photograph she's like on the line. That's that's sustainable. It's not, she's not insanely heavy. So and I wouldn't wag a finger at anyone for their weight. You're allowed to look the way you look.
Exactly. But think about your health, people.
Yeah, that's all we're saying.
But the double standard with that headline's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And Rock of the Brave. Remember when Leonard Nimoy had that photography book full of biggins? Yes.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, Leonard. You know what?
He got some flack.
You know what? Rubens was a great artist too, and he only drew cherubically large, Rubenesque women, for lack of a better term.
Yep, that's true.
In history, some of the greatest paintings, women were always a little extra. So
yes, because just a touch.
Yeah, because you were supposed to represent your wealth, that you could afford to be
exactly.
Happy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That slight curviness.
I'm looking very poor these days.
Yeah.
I told you my weight loss problem is I can't slug my way up to 160, but I finally, I'm almost there. And like the last 2 months, I've put on 10 pounds. It's taken like 7 or 8 years of concerted effort. I was 135.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, I passed 157 last week. Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? If you have something that's slightly wrong with you that makes you unable to gain weight, here's the unpopular thing. They say you can never be too rich or too thin. You can definitely be too thin. I've been there, and that's a weight problem too. So, I identify as a person with a weight problem. I'm just thin.
Yeah.
Well, the internet celebrates too skinny or too big. You have Eugenia Cooney, who's way too skinny. And then there was the gentleman who likes to eat a lot of food. I can't think of his name now. He's dying of a heart attack. He's going to have a heart attack someday. I mean, we got to stop celebrating both sides. Let's be healthy people.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
There you go, Rod. When your skin has folds, that's not healthy. Exactly.
Unless you're really old.
Or a kangaroo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes.
True. Yeah.
And then this one that came out from the Daily Mail, a racist University
Daily toxic mail.
Yeah, 22 is indicted on 6 charges after calling a black schoolmate a N-word 200 times before drunkenly assaulting a cop and faces 13 years in jail. So I can see this. Yeah,
I'm going to see the video. That just sounds hilarious.
it does sound kind of hilarious.
Wait, listen. I do not dispute the account, and I do not have an issue with the initial charge. Now we all know this is not going to be 13 years, but like right now, what we're saying is she's going to spend over on paper right now. She's looking at over a dozen years in jail, a baker's dozen of years in jail for Karening in the 3rd degree.
Yes. Oh my God. People don't.
Please
Stop
don't beat up the cops when you're drunk. Stop.
Don't beat up the cops.
Stop sticking
Don't
things
be
in your
flinging
ass
around
that are too big to go in there.
Stupid racist comments like that either. For the love of God, come on, we're past.
Yeah,
it.
I for one appreciate it when people come after me in a racist manner if they have an articulation to the racist. Like anyone could just call me the word that rhymes with pick, or anyone could just call me that. But like the people who have the common courtesy to put banana boat in front of that word, I respect them a little more for the artistry and the care. If you're going to craft an insult at me ethnically, please, take some care. I'm not saying make ethnic insults, but if you're going to insult someone, use your goddamn intelligence and have a good, well-crafted insult. Shake them up a little bit.
Exactly. Keep them off balance. That's why
racism's a low road to that one.
So
go ahead. Sorry, what did you say?
No, and that's why I allow people to call me Cracker. So there we go. I don't mind. So Leonard says, filters. Kind of hard to stop doing anything. Exactly.
And this woman also like not so hidden personality traits, maybe. Like said she was just low class. This is low class. Taken as a whole, like she also like probably called the woman who talked to her a C word.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't think she said anything nice to anyone during this period of time.
Yep.
And I don't know that she's a racist. She is an asshole, though.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
As a person who worked security in an arena one time, I've seen all types, and yes, they can get really just nonsensical. It's funny.
Oh yeah. Rocco says Appion keeps on calling me a scruffy-looking nerf herder on air. That bastard. So.
We had such a great time with Appion the last couple of days. It's good to have him back. Rocco, we can't wait to have more time off, but thanks for letting us have Appion back for a little while. It's great.
There you go. Mr. Gumby, in the U.S., it's dangerous to try to attack the fuzz. Yep. It can be.
It's in poor taste.
Any
about
place,
common,
I would say, not just the U.S., probably.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah,
balling up your hand to hit somebody who hasn't like insulted your mother or something like that, or your wife right in front of her,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've heard horror stories about attacking RCMP. They're gonna get nasty, I heard.
Oh, big time, yeah. And hell, guys, of iron.
Hey, Tony.
Yes. Are you a nerf herder? Yes, you are. So,
but by the way, you know what? Here's a tip for everybody out there. This has worked for me, and it's only been taken up on very rarely. But when I was like 20, 25, I was like, I'm too old to fight people in the street, even though I live in Queens. Because like basically every street corner here is a boxing ring without ropes. But
True.
So when people say like stuff about my mother, or people call me out and say I'm a P word or whatever. Mm-hmm. What I always say is this. I'll tell you what. Tomorrow, or meet me at the gym of your choosing. Loser pays the ring fee. We'll box. There'll be an official there. No one will get killed. It won't be against the law. You want a fucking piece of me? Let's go to the gym, man. We'll put some ring fee on it, and I got 100 on myself if you're willing to take that action. Fuck you. And you know what? A lot of people, that was a good enough path of a dignified path of retreat. They're like, I will meet you at that gym. No one has ever met me at the gym. Only a couple of people have even taken me up on it. Nice. As far as agreed in the moment, that will instantly de-escalate any physical altercation.
Mm-hmm. Well,
work.
if some of you might remember and been following my channel for a long time, I released this video like a year ago about Amber Heard and the next Aquaman movie coming out. Yes, who can forget Amber Heard? So, because as we know, and
Have
as I
you-
covered a year ago, she's going to be in the next Aquaman movie. So, yeah, there's no getting around that. So
next time you're going to do a bit with her, you have to let me know so I could set you up. I've got a little setup for it. You ready? Have
Okay.
you heard the word on Amber Heard? Do 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 do.
Oh, God.
The Way to San Jose is the Low Road song parody for everyone.
Okay. Well, this latest news that just came out by Bounding Into Comics, so that there is a report that obviously, like I covered a year ago, Amber Heard was not fired from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom due to threat from Elon Musk. Well, this comes out of left field. I did not imagine this. So, what
It
does
was a
Elon
long
Musk-
time ago. He used to fuck her. That's her ex.
Oh, see, I don't
You
keep
didn't
up
know
with everybody.
that?
Before he
No,
was
I
with
didn't.
Grimes, one of my favorites, he was with her.
Oh, see, I don't keep up with celebrity antics like
Usually
this.
I don't
so-
either, but I'm a fan of Grimes, so that's how I knew about that. So
Let's just be
there we
let
go.
me put it this way. It's like this.
Okay.
He's a financial genius, not a genius of personal life.
Yes, that is true.
I think he's mildly autistic and stuff, too. So
Well, yes, Johnny Depp is also like a genius of acting, but like
Right.
might not be up to speed in his personal life because they have a common mistake. And I think the deal was at the time this came out. Here's the thing. This is my take. One, the movie. Doesn't this movie seem to have been done and they've just been trying to work around the fact she's in it and cut her down and film more to get rid of it? So they had a finished movie, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And he'd be like, boy, it would really be a shame if you kicked my ex out of this movie. And now no one wants to go see this movie with this lefty chick in it or this scam artist who used lefty politics as her scam,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so Elon, who now everybody on the left sort of dislikes him because he all of a sudden said what they say and said, I want a platform for freedom of speech. Forget for the moment that he's running it like shit a lot of the time. And, thank you for the pass came through and the third time he tried to send it. But like Twitter is what it is. But this is actually fairly clever to me. Like, make some left-wing noise to cover for your left-wing asshole and be like, well, Amber Heard may be a bitch, but I don't like Elon Musk because he allows freedom of speech, and I've been programmed by Whoopi Goldberg to be against that, so I'm going to go see Aquaman. That might be all this is, but this is a real thing that's happening.
Well, here we go. A wild new report claims that Amber Heard was not fired from her role as Mira in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom due to a threat from Elon Musk. Well, this should be very, very interesting. So, a new report comes from Variety's Tatiana Siegel, who claims that Heard was nearly fired from the film and that the studio even sent a letter to her attorney, Carl Austin, informing him that Heard would be let go due to a lack of chemistry with Aquaman actor Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he didn't like her either. What a show!
No, exactly. She's like the Brie Larson of the DC EU.
You want to hear something surprising? Warner Brothers is not listed on the stock market down on Wall Street. It's a NASDAQ stock. Well, no, NASDAQ is perfectly acceptable. Yeah. It's just that NASDAQ is almost all tech, and it's just like I was shocked. And by the way, I'm looking they're having a good day today. Let me look at 6 months. Oh, they're in the fucking toilet. Their stock's in the toilet. 6 months ago it was $14, so $3, $15 and a half. So like $3 more than what we saw at Paramount. And right now they're roughly tied with Paramount, but they're for the last 2 or 3 weeks they've been quote unquote on the come.
Ah, okay. Lenrod says probably because this Ariel is actually pretty. Maybe.
There's nothing that bad about Amber Heard. We just know her. And she does look like shit in court because I think she's like coming in torn down all the time.
I think so.
But that trial is going to be remembered throughout history. 100 years from now, they're going to say, and most people believe the mainstream media until they saw the lies with their own eyes in 2 major trials, O.J. Simpson and Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp.
Yep. The former DC Films president Walter Hamada testified in court during Johnny Depp's lawsuit against Heard that DC Films did indeed have conversations about recasting Heard due to a lack of chemistry. Yes, we have heard that actually in the past. That was going on. So he stated it was the concerns that were brought up at the wrap of the first movie, production of the first movie, which was an issue of chemistry.
That pins this in time. Wait, that's
exactly.
We put a pin in when this happens. It was after the first movie, so it was before it was released, but after it was made. When was it released? And just call it that. When was Aquaman released? 2019. It's a long time ago now, right?
Yeah,
2020.
Around 2019.
Yeah,
something like that.
There.
Yeah. He goes on to say, I think editorially they were able to make that.
Holy shit! 2018.
Oh, 2018.
This is the venerable Aquaman franchise from the last decade, the middle part of the last decade. As we move towards the middle part of this one, starring venerable actresses like Nicole Kidman and Dolph Lundgren and Amber Heard, who built the Autobahn.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. 2018. That's nuts. So he goes on to say,
really long time ago.
Editorially, they were able to make the relationship work in the first movie, but there was a concern that it took a lot of effort to get there, he added, and would be better off recasting, finding someone who had more natural chemistry with Jason Momoa and move forward that way. Well, yeah, I'd be.
They actually wanted to get Emilia Clarke from that he worked with in Game of Thrones, and I think she did a great job. I mean,
let's face it, I would have been okay with that.
Jason Momoa is not bad. He's not Dwayne Johnson, but he's not exactly Cary Grant either.
No, he's not.
And James Watson's overrated. I'll be honest. He's not that good. I think Dave Bautista's the best actor wrestler.
I see one really good actor in this picture.
Yeah.
Just one. And they're the one who's out of work as an actor.
Yeah.
Although now it's by choice. He was like, "Fuck you."
Well, that's true. So, Hamada later,
you can all get fucked. I'm gonna play guitar. Good for him. Exactly. That's what he wanted. He didn't make it as a musician, and he's been trying. And he plays guitar like fairly, like Johnny Depp can play.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, he's not bad.
I play guitar. Take it from me. I might not be good myself, but I can tell you I'm qualified enough to know someone who is, and he is.
There you go. Hamada later detailed, the reality is it's not uncommon on movies for two leads to not have chemistry. It's a sort of magic, movie magic and editorial, the ability to sort of put performances together, and with the magic of, a great score and how to put the pieces together, you can fabricate sort of that chemistry. I think at the end of the day, if you watch the movie, they looked like they had a great chemistry, but I just know that through the course of the post-production that it took a lot of effort to get there. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's very easy. You just put the characters on the screen together and they work. And sometimes it's harder, he added. Yeah, I can see that because, there have been lots of stories and lots of movies where just off screen, they don't click. And, some movies, they do click. It's just a fact.
It's just like real life. You don't like everybody.
You know what? But why poor Amber Heard? Why didn't they it's not working? Let's get rid of Aquaman.
Yeah. There you go. Mr. Gubby says, Cary Grant, Admiral, you're showing your age.
He's no Johnny Depp.
No,
I am showing my age, but as we all know, I was born in 1653.
Yeah, he's had time. So
that's right. I've aged like a terrible wine. I'm vinegar now.
Ah, nice. That's why you're so salty.
Some people age like a fine wine. I've aged like a terrible vinegar. And Rocco the Brave's right. And I was answering him in there. It's like he is a good supporting actor. He was like the Justice League movie wasn't hurt by his presence. As a main star, he's not as strong. The thing is, he might still be developable, even though he's 50, right? I mean, he's 50. At the same time, like you don't have a big window. Like it's not like, well, in 20 years when he's 73, he'll still be just as viable and people will still no, like we've got to get this right, like right now. So if it's not working with Amber Heard, he's your Aquaman. It's not called Mira.
Yeah.
And you know, it didn't hurt that they loaded her. It didn't help her that movie was dumb, and it didn't help him. That like whole exchange, since before the Sahara was a desert, I was like, I wanted to run out of the theater and stick my head in the toilet.
You're always so descriptive. I love it.
I paid $18 for a swirly from fucking this movie. Who wrote that shit? Was that Patty? Did Patty Johnson write the first one? Is fucking garbage.
I know, right? Oh God, it was just. I don't know.
Patty Jenkins. Let me get that straight.
Yeah. Oh geez, yeah, that Wonder Woman movie also. Oh dear God.
Speaking of really great female directors, I got a quick question for my friends on the panel. Ready?
Okay.
Acolyte Leslie Headland. Know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
Without saying anything about what she's right or wrong, anything like that, doesn't she kind of look a lot like she's made of Lego? Especially her shape of her head. Shape of her head is extremely Lego-like.
Yeah. Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Just a quick note, by the way, on Jason's age, he's only about 44 still.
Whom?
Really?
Momoa. Jason himself. He's about
Jason.
44.
Let me ask my Amazon.
But you look at Keanu Reeves. He's 59. He's almost 60.
Exactly.
And Keanu's in the prime of his life in his career.
You got it. It's his wife who I got his age mixed up with Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet is like Lisa Bonet. Graduated from high school with Betty White.
Right. Okay. So Hamada also testified that Heard's role in the film was not reduced. Oh, really? He said, besides the role in the film, that she was determined in the early development of the script. Oh boy, okay. I hate reading somebody's code sometimes, which would have happened in 2018, I would say. From there, beyond normal development, the character's involvement in the story was sort of what it was from the beginning. When asked if her role was ever reduced, he testified, no. I mean, again, from the early stages of development of the script, the movie was built around the character of Arthur and the character of Orm, Arthur being Jason Momoa and Orm being Patrick Wilson. So there were always two co-leads of the movie. Okay.
That's some horseshit. That's like saying that Aquaman didn't fuck over and genocide the crab people. That happened too. The movie just doesn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of. I don't know. To me, he was kind of forgettable. Patrick Wilson.
He was important to the movie, but like we could have like swapped him out with it. Like he could have been recast. And let's face it, that first movie from 1918, like it's been a long time. Like Metropolis was in that. It's been World War I has happened since Aquaman. It's been a long time since Aquaman 1. We might have a semi-recasting reboot window may have just opened, and this universe is in flux. Is this another like Infinity War? It's like this is left over from the last phase, and it's just we're really going more in the direction of great movies like Miss Marvel, like Captain Marvel, or in the DC universe, great movies like Flash.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the next one is the big one. Is the Superman Legacy reboot. That's where it officially reboots. They say it.
Yeah. Or Creature Commandos, whichever.
Well, before that, but that's the first big movie. Yeah, they're gonna.
And Hell Gap After Dark. How's it going, dude? Nice that you're here.
I want Warner Brothers to take my advice. Gender swap Brokeback Mountain. Keep it graphic. Give us that movie, and we'll love it. They can still be strong. They can have the same jobs. Don't use the same script. Just gender swap it.
Exactly. Yeah, you might as well have this.
I want to see that movie with like Margot Robbie and
As
Helen Mirren can really act, but I think maybe the window's closed on her doing it. But who would be another good person to be like the Ryan Gosling? I'm thinking we got, but who's our who's our female Heath Ledger?
Yeah, exactly. Rogers
Search-
says, didn't Gunn say Blue Beetle was going to be seen again? Yes, he did. So, because he's going to be carrying over like 3 characters, and I guess including Blue Beetle,
But none of the main
into
ones.
his DCU.
So.
I saw
Yeah,
tweets
exactly.
from people who aren't insane who said, and this would be, I think I'm speaking of Neon from Clownfish here, he said Blue Beetle wasn't that bad and didn't have the problems to the level people said.
No, I agree, actually.
And then he said, fire that marketing team. So in other words, they fucked this up in the trailer and they weren't smart enough to fix it.
Probably.
They couldn't fix
yeah.
It
Wow,
wasn't
the
the worst
idea
bad of a
that-
film. It really wasn't. So
No, it,
Yeah,
it,
no,
wasn't,
like-
it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was like borderline, pretty much.
it just
So
it
100%. Sorry, go ahead.
well, no, it was released amongst all this turmoil. That's why it got so little views. People think, it's just trash. Nobody wants to go see it, and it's the hate on it right now. That's why I think it was just bad timing. If it was a different
And
time,
also,
that film would have did better.
Yeah.
didn't the people who did the movie, like, they had limited guidance because of this labor situation?
Yeah,
And
I
what
think so,
happens was, instead of getting like decent PR, we got like top of the head things from people who stopped going to school in the middle of high school so that they could be actors, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or whatever,
exactly.
like educated on set by a paid tutor whose job it is to tell your parents that you're smart. Like maybe not
much.
like the smartest people doing this one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every actor, but it does happen.
It
Oh,
does. It does. You know, yeah, the strike totally did not help whatsoever. So, and
Yeah.
yeah, when you got
should've-
people, because writers are also responsible for PR as well.
But here's
So-
the thing: this story of what he did is
Right.
so much. Well, here's the thing, guys. Like we're gonna have fun with this story, and it was a worthy story to read. But the real story here is the media is pretty fake because this is not news. This is actually, I would call this history from
Yeah.
2018. That
Yeah.
in 2018, when it looked like everything was going her way, and it could even bring down the richest man in the world because she brings down the biggest star in Hollywood
Mhm.
and destroys James Franco in one afternoon.
Yes, exactly.
And fuck you for James Franco, because I liked James Franco a lot.
I did too.
And-
Yeah, I do too.
And Johnny Depp. Honestly,
Yep.
both of them were both good.
Yeah.
Although
So-
James Franco was doing other weird shit.
Amanda's testimony contradicted Heard's own testimony, in which she claimed she was being removed from the script and having her role reduced. She stated, I was given a script and given few versions of the script that had taken away scenes that had action in it, that had depicted my character and another character without giving away any spoilers. The 2 characters fighting with one another. They basically took a bunch out of my role. They didn't. They removed a bunch, Heard added. Oh, well, if you don't have chemistry and if you really have to fight to have chemistry, well, then don't be surprised if you're going to be written out a little bit more out of the next script. I don't know.
If you're a communist,
That's
it's
just
fucking
me.
surprising to be told
So-
you're doing a bad job. You know what I
Guys,
mean?
Yeah, am I wrong?
No,
I think if
Yeah,
you're a goddamn
exactly.
I think if you're a goddamn communist and we tell you you're not doing a good job, it has very little impact. What the
Well,
fuck? So I
yeah.
should have said, no, yes, I am. You
Well, I mean, the
couldn't,
thing is, does
how
Jason
about this
Momoa-
one? I'll take acting lessons.
Yeah. I mean, after the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, do you honestly think that Jason Momoa would want to risk hanging out like on screen or whatever with her, with the possibility of him even getting called out of doing something that he didn't do? No,
I think what the
don't
deal
think
was,
so.
she was
I'll add to
Everybody
this
is-
once you're done reading this article. There's actually news
Don't you-
today that came out about it, but I'll tell you when.
Oh, wow.
Ah,
Look,
okay.
I think that Momoa was rightly afraid, as is everyone out there who's going to agree with us, rightly afraid that she was going to turn around and do something insane after a
Yes.
few days of working with her. And he's
Yeah.
seeing her personal life. And we heard her personal life firsthand from people who spent every day with her, including people who couldn't lie in court, like former Queen security people. And by Queens, I mean Queen of England. You know, and that Scotland Yard guy who had a lot of veracity, who was like an old Connery and is like, Yes, I knew that Mr. Depp. I had my suspicions, but Mr. Depp would never embarrass me by doing cocaine in front of me. What about Amber Heard? She would eat
That's
magic
right.
mushrooms right in front of me. Compromise. I warned her once. And it's like, what was the last time you saw Miss Heard? She was throwing up and getting into her car. I thought it was
Pardon my
disgraceful.
French, but you're an asshole.
So exactly. Nobody wants to take the risk. Nobody. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So when they had discussions about recasting Heard as Mira, she was not recast, and Siegel claims it's because Elon Musk sent a threatening letter. Well, this is kind of interesting here now. Okay, Siegel writes, ultimately, the studio never
Let's
pulled
see
the
the letter.
trigger on
Let's see the
firing
letter.
Heard. Yeah, I want to see that too.
Bullshit. It was a tweet. He tweeted out that he would be sad if his ex-girlfriend lost her job.
Yeah.
Because it would be sad if his ex-girlfriend lost her job in his mind.
Yeah. So ultimately, the studio never pulled the trigger on firing her because her former boyfriend, Elon Musk, had one of his litigators send a scorched earth letter to Warner Brothers threatening to burn the house down if the actress wasn't brought back for a sequel, says a source familiar with the behind the scenes battle. Really? Okay, because
Fuck yourself. Let's see this letter.
Exactly.
I didn't know that studios took marching orders from Amber Heard's fucking ambulance chaser. We saw the lawyer she has.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, tell me about it. God. So time for
That guy needed a seeing eye dog to chase an ambulance.
Yeah, tell me about it. Ledrod, thanks man for dropping on by. I hope you have a good day at work, and yeah, please hit the like button on top of that if you can, please. I would
Len
really
Lads,
appreciate it.
link is going to be in the chat in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little bit behind on my duties as chief promoter.
Chop. No, I'm just kidding. Interestingly, this new report also contradicts testimony from one of Amber Heard's witnesses, Catherine Arnold. Siegel claims that unsealed therapy notes from Amber Heard's therapist, Dr. Don Hughes, accuses Momoa of showing up drunk on set of the film, and that the film's director, James Wan, treated her like a pariah. One note from Hughes about Wan states, even director of Aquaman 2 couldn't account. Plus, he raised his voice at me. I can't even post about Aquaman. He made it like it was my fault. I said, I'm sorry. The note about Momoa also claims he wanted her fired. It reads, then Jason said he wanted me fired as well, but on set, Jason drink late on set, dressing up like Johnny, has all the rings too. Okay. So, all right. So here's the letter.
Wait, did she accused him of impersonating and dressing like Johnny and drinking like Johnny
yes,
to intimidate her?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see him in like a big puffy shirt and like the black eyeliner, and he's like, I've got a compass, it points wherever I want, like pulling out his fucking member.
Oh my god. Yeah. So this is the unsealed therapy notes from Dr. Don Hughes for
remember, she had to unseal these. Medical notes cannot be unsealed without a court order or a consent of your patient, and this is her side unsealing them. So this is her saying, I'm crazy and this is my documentation. This is basically an abuse diary with a notary.
Yes, exactly that. So
in court terms.
Oh man, yeah. Role cut down significantly, changed content. It says also in here. Then Jason said he wanted to me fired as well, and was, what was it, Justice League, Zack Snyder plus hip wife producer. I'm trying to read this because sometimes I can't exactly read other people's writing. So Jason drunk, late on set, dressed up like Johnny, has all the rings too. I did my job, professional.
But if you show up dressed like shit with a blazer, you're dressed like Johnny Depp and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. So, like, who cares if he dresses up like Johnny Depp? I know that more than likely it would seem like, he's poking fun at her, and yeah, maybe he was.
Well, wait, they were
or he
making
puts
an
some fashion sense.
They
Who
were
can
making an
say?
Aquaman movie. What the hell? Maybe he fucking wore a pirate outfit to the set as a joke on Halloween, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
and by the way, I would want to be fired too from this movie that was supposed to be done in 2020, the sequel
Yeah.
to this 2018 movie that was made in 2017.
Yeah. Love it.
This
Love
is
it
some
every
crazy
second of it.
shit. Remember,
It is.
Ghostbusters is still on DVD failing, and they're still trying to save it. Ghostbusters 2016 is still a thing at this moment. That this letter from Elon Musk, former boyfriend, allegedly, they won't unseal this, but they've got some notes about her crying to her therapist. I wonder if the therapist felt bad for her after he paid.
Maybe not.
After she paid her.
She's just happy she's getting paid. So, Gap After Dark, Momoa has a member.
What?
Don't know exactly.
That's what I said. But I said, imagine if he what did he do with his member?
Right. Yeah.
Referring to the DigiPic.
Yeah. Okay. However, Arnold, an entertainment industry consultant, testified Jason Momoa, the star, and Jason Wan, the director, committed to her in an email saying, "If we are involved in this movie, you will be." After an objection, she added, Jason Momoa and the director were adamant that she was in the film, worked hard to be in the film. Okay. Later, she was asked,
"What does that mean? I practiced my fake swimming."
I
laid on a coffee table on my stomach and waved my arms and legs for 4 hours a day for these fucking people, and now they want to fire me.
Maybe go to a pool. I don't know. So what'd you do? You plank yourself on a table and practice? I don't know.
According to that trial, all she does is heavy duty drugs, shit in the street, and go to concerts in really expensive classic muscle cars.
Yeah. Hey, Pop.
Kind of admire her.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
Nice.
You're here just in time to hear about Jason Momoa's good pal Amber Heard and how hard they tried to keep her on this movie.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So later she was asked on the witness stand, and what, if anything, did you, in all the record evidence, do you see that producer or Jason Momoa did not want Amber Heard in Aquaman 2? She responded, "I did not see any evidence of that when asked. In fact, the opposite, correct?" Arnold replied, "Correct again." Okay. A DC spokesman rebuked the claim from Heard via her therapy notes, telling Variety, "James is known for treating members of his cast and crew with the utmost respect and for fostering a positive, collaborative environment on set. The Aquaman films were no exception." The spokesman also pushed back against the claims that Momoa was drunk on set. Jason Momoa conducted himself in a professional manner at all times on the set of Aquaman.
He's been working since.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
There's no
He's been working
for
since. And yeah, you know what? Therapy notes. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. These are therapy notes. The only thing these are good for in a legal sense in the United States of America is my client feels really bad about what he did. So even though he did murder those 11 people, we think that he should be in a medium security prison and that he should be allowed to have non-baby food once a day. That's the only thing this is good for legally. This is. If she had kept the diary and wrote this down herself, not much more. All she did was document that she was sad to a doctor, and then take that documentation and use it for her legal process.
Exactly,
which makes it look a bit contrived. And hi, Dad Man.
It does. Hey, Dad Man, how's it going, man? Nice to have you here. Yeah, it's you know what? I mean, because if he was being that much of an arse on set, showing up drunk, causing problems, blah, 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 with as safe and secure as
bass player for Johnny Depp.
Exactly. He'd be having a work shortage. So, but apparently not. So, poo-poo on you, Amber Heard. I just think she just has it out for everybody. that
Hey,
it's
you know
not
what?
her.
Did Jason Momoa maybe like have like fucking a 3 martini lunch one day because they shot for 25 hours and it was like the 17th straight day? Who fucking
Yeah.
cares?
Exactly.
Like she
Do your
didn't do
job,
drugs.
monkey.
It's like I did cocaine like a responsible actress to keep I worked hard to keep my figure. I did cocaine and I was there ready to go and my delivery was faster with more intensity.
Yeah. Yeah.
What an idiot.
It's ridiculous.
Oh goodness.
But I mean, Jason, or I'm sorry, but Elon Musk, just basically, I want to see that note. If that note was out there, I want to see it from Elon Musk. So,
I think
but I
she
mean,
I think she was tongue punching his fucking crotch when he fucking wrote it.
oh, more than likely. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, even if Elon Musk did send this big scathing letter to Warner Brothers, doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It's not like he has any clout with Warner Brothers, not as far as I know. But you know what? It's the studio's choice. It's
I
their
won't
money
send
that
up
they're
your
putting into it.
satellite.
Yeah, exactly.
I will not put your satellite on my Dragon X launcher.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like no access for you on Starlink. So
I'm out of the business of making money. I got rich by holding personal grudges against ex-girlfriends who are a liability. I think he just wanted to get her out. He wanted her out of there. I was like, yeah, I'll tweet something out. I don't think that if they're going to make a statement this large, this legal letter, I would have entered it into court myself. First of all, it would be in the hands of my attorney, and I would have filed some kind of charges of attempted racketeering against her. I would.
Yeah.
I would have. Yeah. Fuck you. You're not going to tell me how to make my fucking movie. That's like saying, like, Teague on your show, like, you're going to do this. Like, let's get fucked.
Yeah, that's right. It's their property. It's in their court what they're going to do. Elon has no business saying, well, include her in it. If you don't, I'm going to bury you. Well, okay, fine. But you're not putting any money into the movie. You don't own any stock, not as far as I know, at least.
You're not
a major shareholder.
Yeah, you're not Johnny Depp. You're not Johnny. Exactly. And also, this isn't a shoot 'em up, and you're not Keanu Reeves either. Like, where's your level of brilliance? Like, what are you but a pretty chick who people now don't think is pretty because of the way you act?
That's right. And hail to Real Wade Nation Gaming. How's it going, dude? Nice to see you here. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't see anything. Maybe it's just totally 100% fabricated. Maybe it's not.
Who the hell knows? All I know is it must be hell for Jason Momoa, because anytime he has an opportunity, he's like, I could get called back to fucking this 2018 Aquaman sequel for fucking anything at any minute. I can't go to like wherever for 3 weeks. Like, I'm waiting on a phone call from these idiots.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It seems, honestly, it's fucking up his career.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, back a year ago, October 13th, I believe, is when I had the video out. Yep, she's still going to be in it. And for sure, she's still going to be in it. Even if her role is reduced, on her, maybe you shouldn't have crapped the bed. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you just could have been a nicer person, Amber. Stop being the Brie Larson of the DCU. Maybe that would help. Oh God!
What a novel concept. Just be nice.
That's a tough call, because as bad as Brie Larson is, and as afraid of her as I might be, like, now that neither of them have credibility, I would have to say, like, it's like one is like an 11 and the other's a 9.5 as far as how horrible they are. But like, let's give Brie Larson her due. She's only 9.5 out of 10. Like, this is an 11 as far as being insane.
Yes.
Amber Heard does probably need some medication. I don't know if she needs rehab. I don't know if addiction is like anything. Like, I don't understand. I'm not a doctor. Like, maybe people could quit. Maybe it's a choice. Maybe it's a disease. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to deny anybody's beliefs, but I will say this: she needs some help. She probably, honestly, this is like person looks like a textbook case for some anti-insane pills, of whatever kind. And I hope she kept that therapist and talks to them a couple of times a week. And, she has the largesse to maintain this level of, she's got a lot of problems, man. Like, you don't do the things that she does if you don't have problems. We don't feel sorry for her because of what she did. But she's like, she ruined her life too. Like, that Gambit.
Exactly.
Wasn't she diagnosed with some issues? I'm not sure.
I think she might have been.
Are we confusing her with a? I think what happened was there was a psychological profile put together by opposing legal team that was able to strongly present that possibility. We might be getting her confused with Amelia Clark has a real chronic physical illness that has nothing to do with how she acts or her behavior. Amelia Clark is nice to people, so no problems there.
Something related to aphasia, if I remember right.
Something like that. Yeah.
No, that's Bruce Willis. Aphasia means that you have serious dementia. Aphasia is serious dementia.
I seem to remember reading something about Amelia Clark having something similar to that as well.
Interesting.
Oh my God! I hope it was just something that rhymed.
Yeah. Gap After Dark says Aquaman's going to bomb at the box office because people don't forget what she did. It'll have the Flash effect.
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Plus, plus, I don't think the studio is really standing behind Aquaman either. I think it's probably going to be safe that it will bomb or underperform.
I don't see any advertisements for it really or anything.
No.
They're minimizing their losses. You know what? There's only one thing you could do with this movie too, because of how much of a problem is.
Yeah.
You have to Top Gun this one as far as before this movie rolls. You have to have like a quick video. Hi, my name's Jason Momoa, and I'm so happy that you came to our movie. We made it just for you. There's real water, real fish, and even real action. Thanks for coming out to the movies. That's like the only thing you've got.
Yeah,
you have to. This movie,
you're gonna have to Tom Cruise it. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to Tom Cruise it.
Instead of congratulating people for being pioneering enough to go back to being social after a pandemic, you have to actually go out there and tell them, like, thank you for forgiving us. And boy, are we sorry about the mess we made. It's basically the Alanis Morissette statement.
Yeah, that's
sad to remind you about the mess we made when we went away.
Real fish, real action, real water, real begging.
Right.
Yes,
real choking like I am right now to come up with the reason that this movie is going to be successful.
Walker the Brave says, do I remember correctly that it was mentioned that Momoa was going to be Lobo? You know what? I had heard that too.
Yes.
Long time ago. That they were actually considering it,
and that would be perfect. I'm sorry that he would.
Yeah, that's a role meant for him. That would be a really good role for him.
Exactly.
I'm okay with Rich swapping Sheriff Lobo. He was good in BJ and the Bear. Right? That's
different
I'm
Lobo.
fine with it.
Different Lobo.
Yeah.
Well, I think we need to bring both of them back and have them in the same movie. Can we have them both back in the same movie? Like a multiverse, right? A multiverse. You're both the same Lobo, except that where I'm from, Lobo is whatever the other Lobo is, and where I'm from, Lobo is, and maybe even bring in Lobot from Star Wars.
There you go.
And now we have the three of them together, and it's like a buddy comedy, like Last Train to Darjeeling Express or whatever it was, or
just throw it all in a pot and start stirring. Yes,
exactly.
I'm gonna say if a Lobo movie happens, it got to be rated R, sort of like Deadpool, though. You got to have.
It could be like Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, like Low Lobo, Low Lobot.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see. Yeah, bring him back. Bring him back as Lobo. James Gunn. That would be perfect. The perfect. If you're not going to use him as Aquaman, put him in as Lobo.
I think he would be better cast as. I never really saw him as Aquaman. It was just that was too odd of a match for that character. He just did not fit.
It did.
He wasn't terrible, but that world.
They were going for the 90s Aquaman, with the long hair, and I think he lost his hand or something like that, and it was replaced with a trident. I think they were going for that look rather than the classic Aquaman look. So, in one way, it did kind of work, and another one, maybe
It was
the
a
classic Aquaman.
I
was
think
just
he
too
did an
plain.
okay Aquaman. People don't realize Aquaman is a badass.
Compared to
you
Submariner, it's
Yeah.
a goddamn fucking triumph. Namor.
Oh, big
yeah.
time!
Oh,
Don't
big
even go
time!
there. Don't go there.
Instead of
The
Mexican
very
Namor.
first time, the very first time I saw
Oh my
Momoa
god.
in
Oh.
costume as Aquaman, I thought he
Yeah.
was a leftover from Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah.
What went
yeah.
through my mind was, do you like gladiator movies? I'm like, what the hell? But I mean, the movie was a little bit less bad than that. It wasn't a great movie, though. He fucked
You
over
should have
those crab
seen-
people. He fucked
you
over
should-
those crab people.
He did.
Justice for the crab people.
Yeah. You should have seen Mexican Iron Man go overtime when he saw that video I put out about Mexican Namor. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can only
Oh.
imagine. Yeah.
He's just
Quite
like, dude, we have to
honestly-
get together and do a video together. It's like, yes. If we
That was
still haven't-
insulting. That's insulting across the panoply of being Latino. Like that, because
Yeah.
like what they're saying is, if you're Emilio Estevez, if you're Martin Sheen, like you don't have any of this stuff in common. And it's
Yeah.
just like, excuse me, like not everybody is,
Mhm.
Namor or Salma
Yeah.
Hayek. Like there are people from places other than Mexico, you Hollywood fucking shut in.
Exactly. There we go. Gap after dark. Crab lives better.
That's right. That's what
That's right.
And it just when you crack the claw open, that's the best part of life. Visit Baltimore, ladies and gentlemen. Crab lives matter.
Exactly. Rock of the Brave, yeah. Ocean Master in this movie looks more like Aquaman in the trailer. Yeah, he does, kind of. So, Snail Messiah lies.
Hey, Snail. Good to see you,
Go,
buddy.
Snail. Okay, seeing how we're at the 1 hour mark, let's take a brief commercial break before we get on to the next news. So, brought to
Commercial
you
break time.
exactly by those wacky Japanese.
見てテナガサルこっちはゾウさんだ
ちーちゃんは長いのが好きなんだね
別に意識してるわけじゃないけど
気のせいかLong, long前にも言ったねあの長い人避ける組対長い避ける組
There you go. And if you want to see part 3 of that commercial, because I'll just repeat them every show, every second show, just so in case you didn't catch it on Frantic Friday, you can catch it again on a Titillating Tuesday. So we'll have part 3 of that series of those wacky Japanese commercials this Friday on a Frantic Friday. So stay tuned. Okay. So, yes, go ahead.
A thought, closing thought here on DC. The first Batman movie was released in 1943 and is kind of a poverty row, like war propaganda movie.
Right.
What would you give to be a fly on the wall of the internment camp where George Takei saw that movie? It's just so fucking bizarre.
I would give everything. So
I would pay like $100 for that. If that was in the play Allegiance, I would have gone and seen it.
There we go. And speaking of DC and Batman, no, we're not done yet. Because if comics couldn't get any more fun, well, this from DC Comics. An industry insider alleges DC Comics wanted a black Batman to permanently replace Bruce Wayne.
That fits right in with their stereotype that he no longer has any fucking money. Oh my God, how fucking racist can it be? Now that he's broke, it's a great time to make him black. We also think that perhaps a criminal background might be. He's already a fucking very sketch vigilante in some iterations. You can fuck up Batman.
Yes.
Look at Batman versus Superman, where he uses machine guns to cut a truck in half.
Yeah.
You can do Batman wrong.
That's right. And you know what? I'm just gonna put this because Foggy, I know you sent me a message like over the weekend about Robin Hood, about watching the first episode there. I couldn't even get through the past. I couldn't even get past 30 seconds of watching the first episode. It's so bad.
I've yet to try it. Still waiting.
Well, I mean, Mike, that's
I've been tempted to check that out as well. I may give that a try myself.
Just remember, we were all, ladies and gentlemen, everyone here on your panel, PCR, Mike, Foggy Brains, and myself. We were all out hunting a dinosaur one day, and we fell into a ravine, and there was a flash flood. And only about 6 years ago did they thaw us out. And you know, your words mean very little to us. And later on, Mike, will we be? The sun is going down? Do you think it will come up again tomorrow? We should probably. Should we delete someone and throw them into the bog to make sure that it does come back again? It worked last night.
It's
right?
tempting. Yeah, I think we can try for
you know what?
Yeah,
and also, can I just say this? If we have to have a black Batman, can we make Batman an American again? All right. When Hollywood sends us their Batman, they're not sending us their best anymore. They're not sending us our best. They're sending us third-rate actors. They're sending us retreads. They're sending us has-beens. They can't act. They can't deliver a Batman performance. And some, I assume, are good people.
Yes. But this Batman's probably going to be like from, I don't know, maybe Sierra Leone or something like that. Does that picture look like he has like a lazy eye or something like that going on? I haven't the faintest idea.
Yeah, as far as they're also going to make him not physically formidable. They're like, we want Forrest Whitaker as Batman. This way, he's also old. He'll be in our movie. Lucius Fox becomes Batman.
Yep. So, exactly. Why not?
That might be the path they're taking here. Because, like, this is not Bruce Wayne.
No. In early 2021, DC Comics replaced their iconic characters with diversity counterparts in their future state lineup, which spun out their 5G imitative plan. This was not originally meant to be a glimpse into the alternate future as a quick mini event, instead planned to be a complete reboot, yet again, of the DC universe. Because the new 52 just wasn't cutting it or something like that? Now you're going to have to reboot it all over again, I guess? Because
I was about to say, how many times have they hit the reboot button?
I don't know. If it doesn't work, reset.
No,
so
I know what I was getting out of comics right when the new 52 hit.
Yeah.
Or whatever, back in the late 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah.
I have like a one line review of what's going on at Marvel. DC. Blue screen of death. We're holding down that reboot button for about 11 years. You know what, guys? You need a whole new tower. This is not going. Swapping out parts for this computer is not going to work. You lost Henry Cavill. You've got Gal Gadot, but that Wonder Woman shit, man. Was maybe people would have forgotten about it by now because that's also equally old. But the second one, Wonder Woman 2, was number 2. All right.
Yep.
It was number 2. I'd like you to see my number 2 movie. It's number 2.
Yep. So instead, it's planned to be a complete reboot, yet again, of the DC universe, much like it had already been done a few times under the stewardship of co-producer Dan DiDio.
By the way, I just want to apologize to everyone though. Before this, I've been accused of bad research. I've only seen Wonder Woman 1 and Wonder Woman 1984. I did not see the 1,983 movies between them that line. Yeah, so stuff I might not know the lore, but I didn't think Wonder Woman 1984 was a good movie.
Oh no, it wasn't. Rock of the Brave has Morgan Freeman as Batman. However, Gap After Dark says let's go with
more like Idris Elba.
Yeah,
Red Fox's Batman would at least be fun.
Exactly.
Could you imagine how many? Imagine him locking up the Batcave with like 35 like padlocks.
Snail Messiah. Henry Cavill as Batman. I could go with that. I could I could go with that.
I'm still imagining Red Fox like hitting the drawer twice and like it opens up and there's some batarangs in there.
Yeah. I want Sabrina.
And he grabs a bottle of Ripple.
Harley Quinn. There we go. Oh, and Rock of the Brave. Yeah, he stopped after Final Crisis. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So what's going on? The most shocking proposal, according to an industry insider present at the 5G Initiative Summit, was to turn the character of Lucius Fox into Batman and have the
Jesus Christ,
Batman title feature the Black lead instead of Bruce Wayne.
You hit it on the nose.
But by using stupidity, I got the right outcome by choosing the dumbest, lowest, easiest.
Yes, you did.
I think I said that would be the lowest, easiest road, didn't I?
Yep.
You hit the nail
Congratulations.
on
I
the
said
head.
that.
Yep.
You hit the
Ladies and
nail on the head
gentlemen,
there.
there's this
Perfect.
thing called Chekhov's gun. I just loaded and fired it. Chekhov's gun. All right.
You
And
should
that's
be a
going to get
DC
Mike
writer.
Shadow banned.
Yep. A contingent at DC Comics apparently thought race swapping the beloved character after the wake of Black Lives Matter would add additional diversity to the book lines. Oh, God. Here we go.
You know,
Oh,
they're
man.
not going far enough. They know
No,
they need to go
they're
even
not.
further. They
Yes.
need to embrace this. They need to make it their own.
Yep.
They've
They
got to
need
get
to
out there
double
ahead
down.
of JJ's Black Superman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rocco, Batman holding his heart. I'm coming, Martha.
I was thinking that.
Who
yeah.
would think that
And,
we would
and hail Titan, hail Titan, hail Titillating.
I have to
Oh.
Batman.
I just want to say publicly on the Comic Relief Crusaders stream, Zach, I'm sorry, Zach. You didn't have the stupidest vision of Batman ever. You've been
No, you did
outdone,
not.
sir.
You
Just
did
the stupidest
not.
one to be brought to fruition. Hopefully, we can. This one dies in the womb. Give this movie
geez.
RU486.
So there we go. Lucius Fox is going to be the next Batman, not Bruce. Oh, God. Could this get any worse?
Wait, let me use some more stupidity here. Let me think about this for a
Okay.
second.
Okay.
Who in the Batman panoply of people is black? In the Robert Pattinson movies, Commissioner Gordon is black.
Yep.
Okay, so the Joker is Commissioner Gordon. He's gonna. That's the new origin.
Oh,
tale.
there we go. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's pretty stupid. Let's see if I'm right, guys.
Okay,
Is that
okay.
dumb enough to be that? Let's disagree. Is that stupid enough to be true again? Because I was just
That is-
very stupid and I was right.
I'd probably
That-
put money on that if I was a betting person.
Yep. That
Right.
is so dumb.
Yeah,
it just
there
won't
we
work.
go. And very
Yep.
J.J. Abrams. Yeah, let's see.
Exactly.
that.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes.
Subvert those expectations.
Yeah, I love this. The insider who spoke with Banning into Comics under the condition that anonymity said Didio looked visibly stressed at the meeting. Our sources stated Didio, I'm not exactly sure, had been excited about the new initiative.
It's Ronnie James DiDio.
Okay, Didio had been excited
More
about the
fun.
new initiatives in the past, but the 5G situation left much different, like it was being forced on him. Didio's supposed fears were justified. He left or was fired from DC Comics in early 2020, right after the pandemic was hitting in the comic book industry, suffered a catastrophic collapse from the closure of stores nationwide. Of course it did.
You know what, Mike?
So,
Daddio also works for this guy's name.
Oh,
We can
God,
call him
yeah.
Daddio if we want.
That's right. Yeah.
Daddio, Ronnie James
That would work.
Daddio. Ronnie James Daddio. I say we go for it. Chat, what do you say?
I want to see
democracy here, ladies and gentlemen.
Daddy-o.
It's
There we
like
go.
Canada. It's like Canada.
Yep.
We've got a crazy Cuban trying to make insane assertions and calling for a non-binding vote that means nothing. We're gonna do what we want anyway.
There you
How
go.
about D for Daddy-o?
My favorite Ronnie James the
Daddio.
Daddio album. The Daddio album is Holy Diver. I love that one. The last in line.
Oh my
is good
God!
too.
Yes. Ted likes the Red Fox.
Gotta
suggestion.
get away.
Yeah.
There we go. Love that. Snail
That
Messiah.
was a good idea.
It was. I want Kevin Smith as the Riddler. No one knows why the hell anyone put him in the movie for that role, thus making the role both a masterpiece and meta.
I want to save him for Gollum in the new Rings of Power because he wouldn't need any makeup and they're already out of money. Have you seen my man? Eat that vegan.
Lord,
Have a
I
steak.
know.
Kevin Smith, I
know.
will buy you a fucking bunch of cheeseburgers. I'll buy you
It's
movie
like,
burgers.
yeah, it is possible to lose a little too much weight. It's like
Yeah.
kudos for him wanting to be healthy and all, but
Exactly.
yeah.
No, he actually still has a weight problem and he's not healthy.
Oh,
In my
okay.
opinion,
Okay.
as far as as far as looking at pictures, if he's driven to stay that thin and doesn't want to put on a little bit of weight, we don't know. Like he may be ill in another way, and we wish him well. We don't want
Ah.
anything bad to happen to anyone. But
No.
Yes.
if he's willingly that thin, has he looked at a picture of himself? There's a case right there for body dysmorphia, dude. You heavily resemble Gollum in a fucking hat,
Yes.
in a baseball hat.
Well, taking a look at Justice League right here. Okay, so we got our African American Batman. It looks like green. Yes, I just gleaned that this
Is it Black Lantern? Is that what he is? He's
it looks
Black.
like
He's Black Lantern.
greenish Black Lantern, Black Light, maybe. I don't know.
And the Latino Knight. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's the darker. He's an even darker Dark Knight than ever. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Wonder Woman is, I don't know, Asian. Is that Asian or maybe Latino? I don't know.
She's got a nice tan.
Yeah, she definitely has a nice hand. So I can't exactly make I don't know. I'm gonna say Asian on this one. So
Yeah.
maybe dark Asian. Okay, Flash, I don't know, is mostly covered up. Can't really tell. Superman is more than likely probably still gay, I bet. And I don't know who this one is on the top left corner. This it's a redhead. It's a redhead.
It's a redhead.
We got redhead representation. Yeah, it's Amber Heard.
It's Scarlet from G.I. Joe. We're crossing over to the Hasbroverse to try to grasp the relevance.
And where's Superman's cape?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, he needs a cape.
Yeah, where's Superman's cape? That's a good thing. That's a good point.
This says Justice League, but I don't recognize these characters in this current form.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, this says Justice League. I say justify this Justice League.
Well,
I don't know who the fuck these people are.
Actually, I'm going to say one thing. The Hall of Justice does look like the old Hall of Justice. If you look,
it does. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
that's
you know what? Okay. Because Foggy Burns pointed this out. Yeah, okay. Amber Heard. I bet you. This is the new Aquaman, Aquawoman.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
it's got to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
See, if we dumb it down even further, we'll get it right.
Exactly.
Were the pictures of Emilia Clarke costumes testing as Mira real, or were they shopped? Because if that's true, that means they were keeping Mira redheaded.
Yes,
we saw those weird pictures. We just never got validation they were real.
I always thought they were shopped. I thought they were photoshopped because I couldn't tell myself.
Yeah,
I'm sort of on the side of they were shopped too, but that's why I asked it in just that way.
Yeah.
If those were real, we would be able to say there seems to have been an appetite for her to remain red-haired.
Yeah,
we don't know. They fucked Justice League up so much that they put one of the most recognizable, bankable comic book properties in front of them, and we're like, we only know 3 or 4 of them, and we had serious what the fucks about the appearance of the keyest of all members.
Yes,
and we're not talking about Batman. We're talking a non-iconic looking Superman, and Black Batman, like he's gonna rise and fall on his own merits. We'll see if people fucking, we'll see, run it up the flagpole, see who salutes, as they say. But
so
this is kind of like Robin Hood.
The proposal to replace Bruce Wayne as Batman with a black character was met with grumbles from the retail sector of the meeting. Allegedly, one of the retailers told Didio point blank that he should be prepared for Batman sales to drop to a third of the book's then current levels. And we already know that those levels are bad enough as it is, right?
Mike, can you imagine what he said? Listen, Dio, I loved you on the Sacred Heart tour and all, but we've got to scale back on this because we make our toys in the People's Republic of China, and if he's black, there's going to be a lot of breakage by the workers there. They're istophobes. It's not me. It's not us. Not us.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah. The reality of the situation is when readers read Batman as a title, they expect to see Bruce Wayne. No duh.
Start making your fucking ISO movie right now. Try to get your ISO.
Yes.
Eric July.
Right.
Do not sleep on this one. Have your ISO movie be of quality because you are just going to knock these people right out of relevance because you've got Superman and he's black already and it's not bothering anybody. And this is no one's upset. Like these characters long ago did things much worse than change their race. Like we've seen them do evil and immoral things. We've seen them do things that doesn't matter who they are if they're written wrong. And like just watch these people fuck them up. Like you wanted Batwoman, check out how immoral that show was. How many people did she just kill?
Yeah, when this article says when they go read Batman as a title, they expect to see Bruce Wayne. That reminds me so much of 10 or 12 years ago when people wanted to go see Iron Man at a comic book store, they find Riri Williams.
Yep.
Oh yeah, reading up on that, by the way, Wonder Woman has some Brazilian in her.
Yes.
That's why she had some color. So it's like, yeah, they made her
This,
Brazilian.
you mean this?
right.
Oh, so now she's Brazilian.
This reiteration, yeah.
You know, here's the thing, though. It's like for people without belly buttons, they better have left it that way because there are people out there who have had to go through life with no belly button, and if we don't see the no belly button, if we don't show some no belly button here, that's cowardly too. Let's respect all communities. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. Did you see a comic book writer wanted to propose making Connor Kent, Superboy, a trans girl called Skyrocket? They're begging us to make the whole comic book industry collapse. Oh my God. Are you serious?
The guy, I saw the tweet. I saw the tweet. It said the first sentence, at least like somebody took their medication that day. The first sentence was, since this will never happen anyway. And this guy is like, basically, this idea was like, no, and you're fucking fired.
Exactly. So DC Comics
followed up saying it. By the way, you have your own unique IP here, though. Why not just go out and make this? It's not Batman. Just make it.
So they followed up with
Superman, rather,
with their future state, the next Batman book, the Batman Replacement. Tim Fox was met with poor reviews from both fans and critics, and the book did not last very long before DC Comics changed directions again. So I can't imagine why. So
not at all.
The issue where Commissioner Gordon tries, like, speaking on behalf of the writers, trying to get it through to the fans, just failed. Where he's like, why do you trust the Batman? And he looked at him for a minute. That's that one frame where he stares back and he goes, because he's well spoken.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He enunciates gracefully. So both Marvel and DC seem obsessed with trying to replace their iconic characters with the new diverse skin suits. Marvel has done everything it can to promote Miles Morales as Spider-Man ever since Brian Michael Bendis created the character as a follow-up of a joke by Donald Glover stating he wanted to play Spider-Man in a movie. That's true. However, Miles Morales' iteration of the character doesn't sell anywhere near the numbers Amazing Spider-Man does monthly. Now,
it will, however, begin to bring those Spider-Man numbers down by undercutting, defaming, and making him common, because I don't know how many people know this, but when everybody's special,
then no one is. That's right. Now, personally, I mean, I'm going to say I don't have a problem with Miles Morales as
I like the character
as a Spider-Man.
Yes,
but he
exactly.
is not the Spider-Man.
That's Peter. Yes.
Because that's Peter. It's always going to be Peter. It's forever going to be Peter Parker. Exactly.
Well, if Batman can be broken black,
period.
If Batman can be broken black and Commissioner Gordon can be changed to his parole officer, why can't we have Miles Morales too? Does he also tag up when he's like swinging around? I mean, how bad is it? How bad is
the really bad thing about Miles Morales is that Marvel does not know what to do with him. They've made him Thor. They've made him, I don't know how many other Captain America.
It's like Iron Man.
They keep shopping him around, trying to figure out his niche, his place in the comic book universe. They don't know what to do with him, which is kind of sad. Good writing could make him a great character.
I think he has an awesome agent. Honestly, that speaks to his agent, because I mean, we've seen that the actor has been flat and lazy in the role in the last few years, and it just hasn't been what it used to be.
I think they developed him good in the video game series, the Spider-Man one. I think Miles has been presented well there.
You know what? Let's get that movie too. Yes, not broke black back Batman. I said broke back Batman. That's correct.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Foggy.
And and then the most recent films with him, I don't mind those. I actually like the way the cartoons are. I think they're well done. So I'm liking the story. So
because it explains that there's a multiverse of Spider-Man out there. And that's how it's played out. And that's not a problem. I don't have a problem with that.
No,
but
no.
when you're trying to say this is your new Spider-Man and you're going to like it, right? Then no, then we got a problem because we like Peter Parker because the way Peter Parker was pitched originally, it's like he's an ordinary kid that all of a sudden, he goes to high school. He's an ordinary guy like you and me. And all of a sudden he finds out that he has spider powers and he becomes a superhero. And, you go through all the pain and anguish that he goes through, all the happiness that he goes through.
How does he get his powers?
In the
last powers? Miles Morales.
I think somewhat the same way.
Similar, very similar. Yeah, very similar. So,
yeah.
But like I said, they actually present Peter in the film too with the Spider-Verse that he's kind of mentoring him a little bit. So they still
exactly.
Well, they look. Isn't
Peter Parker though?
Yeah.
Isn't it as preposterous as Miles Morales and Peter Parker know each other, hang a little bit because Peter Parker lives in Queens and Miles Morales lives in Harlem because it's so fucking predictable, or Spanish Harlem. Sorry, right? I'm gonna guess Miles Morales absolutely lives in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, because his mom's Spanish. And
by the way, try having a town called White New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly right. That's not going to go over well. So whether the force diversity comes from corporate management or from the newer generation of writers that are obsessed with destroying iconic characters, every time it's tried, it fails spectacularly. There's a danger to retailers beyond simply losing sales on one book as well. When people go to a comic shop to buy a Batman book, they don't often keep coming back and returning to try out different comic books because they stop buying Batman. Comic readers.
I'm trying to wait. Hold on, for 1 second. Can I break in? Right. Yeah? Let's say I'm going to assume it's not like, so Wayne Bruce, it's me, parole officer Gordon. Did you look for work this week, Wayne? What did you do at your time, Wayne? I was down by the docks looking for crime. All right, you're going to have to go back to jail. I mean, what the fuck?
Exactly. Comic book readers are devoted to the characters they follow, and more often than not, they'll stop coming to the shops altogether if they're given a reason to quit. This
like if you turn Batman into Man-Bat. I mean, this is the same thing, only different.
This attrition of readers has been plaguing the industry for so long, and it's a herald of great problems ahead for the future state of comics. Yeah, it's simple. If you change things up, like if you really change things up very dramatically, chances are nobody's going to like it. Nobody.
Not only that, but
think about this. You're making Lucius Batman, and you're saying goodbye to Bruce Wayne.
That's kind of the main part of the story.
Do that.
Bruce Wayne's parents developing into the character who he is. That's what develops Batman.
I mean, what's Lucius
Bruce Wayne's mother's
motivation
name?
To being Batman? Oh, well, boss, you treated me good over the years. I'll take over as Batman. Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Don the suit. You know exactly what I do. Punish bad guys. What? Well, that's not much of a motivation.
Nope.
No.
There's nothing driving the character. There's nothing driving anyone besides Bruce Wayne to don the cowl, don the cape, and to do what he does.
Did they delete his parents?
Or so help me!
He was created because of the death of Tom and Martha. So
yeah.
Why did you say that name?
Like, seriously, this is like a video game. We've literally just swapped his skin, his story, everything's the same. It doesn't have any effect on anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be weird with Black Superman and Black Batman if that J.J. Abrams movie gets made. And I'm not saying that I don't, acknowledge that there should be superheroes that, people feel happy about, like what people are saying about something like Blue Beetle. But again, hey, Eric July, do you see this nightmare they're going to make here? This thing is absolutely the worst idea since smoking to lose weight. This is a terrible fucking idea. Get your Isom movie out there because you've got a black dude who's Superman. That's basically about half of what this is. This is not any kind of Justice League I recognize.
we all know the actor Michael B. Jordan. He was asked, "What would you like to play Black Super?" And he said, "No, I don't want to play Clark Kent." Now there is one of a Black Superman in one of the universes, and he said,
Yes.
"That's
mild-mannered
said,
NBA reporter Clark Kent, right? Would they be that racist?
One, he said he would play that one, but I don't want to play Clark Kent because that would be disrespectful to the character." And he actually said that. Yeah.
But
He's
yet
not an
he
idiot.
plays Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four back in 2015.
I know.
He had a lot less agency. He needed a place to live. I'll cut him some fucking slack. I don't mind Michael B. Jordan.
Oh no, he's an excellent actor.
No, I don't. He's a good actor, but I think
as his power scale. No, but you know what? I try to measure an actor's courage based on their power scale. If they're really courageous, like with no power, like maybe I respect them more if they can pull it off, but there might be something to be said for if you don't get to a certain point, you can't say anything to help anyone. So I might be I would be pretty timid about my views before I started saying things as crazy as the fans can't be wrong in Hollywood.
I find myself wondering where does this stop? I mean, we have Batman of color, Superman of color. Why don't we just go all out and have Justice League of color, and then we'll go over and say, well, there's this iteration of Justice League. Let's have the Asian Justice League. Let's have the Indian Justice League. The
Skrull Justice League.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Let's have one variation for every ethnic group out there, so everybody can feel representative.
Exactly. Imagine that writer's room based on those terms that didn't end up happening, where you had to have someone exactly like the person they were writing for. You know, right? You couldn't write like Mike could only write for a white man of about his age,
or you could only voice a white person because you're white and blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Does Apu still? Quick question: does Apu still speak on The Simpsons, and has it been re-voice cast, or we still have the same actor doing it?
No.
No,
to which part?
He did a good job, but
no to which part?
Apu is gone.
Yeah, they get
Apu is gone. Did they just disappear him, or was he killed when they robbed the Quickie Mart? Did Snake rob the Quickie Mart and kill him?
Yeah, probably.
Because that's how I would have wanted to see him go out, by the Slurpee machine, guns blazing. Thank you, come again. And it's like, don't worry, my religion, I believe I will be born, and thank you, I will come again. And then
just tying on to that article though, and I've been reading a lot on recently. People are finally getting sick of it. There's a lot of people now saying we don't need diversity and everything. And a lot of people are starting to talk against it now because we're getting tired of it. And there's a lot of articles I'm reading that people are like, no, not everything needs diversity. And we don't.
Yeah, I want to thank Leslie Jones for kind of making that abundantly clear, because what we're seeing now that used to be what we're calling what sounds like the much more reasonable sounding term of diversity. What we saw their idea of diversity was, at least as far as what we go with Leslie Jones, was exacting justice, throwing shade, and darkening the world while corseting all discourse and driving people further apart for financial gain.
And a term I never thought I'd hear that is going on now. It's called blackwashing. I'm like, what? What is that? Because Cleopatra, she's black. Now they're saying these new guys are coming out saying, the Vikings were actually black. Vikings were black.
I want to apologize. Give me a break.
So I'm like,
well, you know what? If you say something that stupid, inject it into the main when they come back with Rings of Power and they have the black Aragorn, they'll be able to be like, look, it makes it. We were ahead of science on this one. That's just that's a black herring.
There's even a guy. Well, there's many. The Train Your Dragon one, the cartoon. They're doing the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember saying
one
something
of the
about that.
Norge characters is going to be black. I'm like, what?
Yeah. But there wasn't Black Vikings. I'm sorry.
The only thing right? How about that one?
Justice League. That's what I want to see.
That would be great. Whale man, blubber man, blubber man. Just pulls out a thing of blubber, like Popeye pulls out the spinach and just starts chewing on it, and then just goes in there for the attack.
I want to see Inuit people up in the far.
Would they get there in like kayaks? They'd have flying kayaks.
I think so. Yeah, throwing snowballs.
By the way, just one quick thing. I've been saying this everywhere I've gone. all of us have been through the shameful experience of the ridiculous step show called entertainment that was Ahsoka. Here's one thing, just Disney, pay attention to this. George Lucas, those stupid fucking whales that you had in space, George Lucas would have layered on like 3 reasons like to nail them into reality. They would have had a food source. There would have been a society of pirates hunting them because they had organs that could make you go hyperspace. Because if I can figure it out, they can, right?
Yes.
And
exactly.
I guess like third and finally, like we could have made them seem a little bit more relevant and finite and just maybe better rendered. Like, how did they get inside of them? They're in there because they're not on the outside. Like the whole thing was really weird. And
okay, I'm gonna give my 2 cents because I'm 3 episodes in, and I don't hate it because I like the callbacks to Rebels. But
you'll love the spacesuit that Ahsoka has in the next episode. That is peak Ahsoka. That was the peak. The show peaks there, and then after that, it's not quite as good. But the peak of the show is her spacesuit. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's great. It makes sense. It's amazing.
Titan says it stops with villains of color. Notice they didn't race swap the villains with minorities. Weird,
oh
yeah.
Well, Marvel did it. Marvel does it. Marvel has one black bad guy, right? But he's really super powerful, which I guess kind of cancels it out.
Yep.
Although all we do is see this trash villain lose. Like Kang has lost to Loki's girlfriend.
Yeah.
He has lost in whatever world he fled to the quantum verse from. So that's 2, right? Then he loses in the quantum verse to Michelle Pfeiffer, kind of, right? So that's 3. And then at the end of the movie, like a kid beats him. So that's like 4. Like this is a formidable bad guy. He's trash. Like
you should have written him like Thanos or something. It would have been amazing. But no, he was a joke the whole time. Pretty much. Yeah.
So, as we're talking about respecting characters and whatnot, and not Amber Heard, this recently came out. Netflix's One Piece co-showrunner reaffirms commitment to respecting source material. If you're adapting something that you legitimately
that's a
love,
code word for your movie's fucked.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, and providing even further evidence that the beloved franchise is in capable, if not outright good hands, Netflix's One Piece co-showrunner Matt Owens has declared that even as the series approaches some of the more outrageous and fantastical parts of Ichiro Oda's seminal tale, source material accurately remains number 1 of its highest priorities. There you go. We've got that.
You know what? You should probably print like that statement, right? And it's like see if One Piece stays true. Like, you know how I have my little 10-point Star Trek matrix? Like, is it Star Trek?
Yeah.
This should maybe be your one. This guy just told us what One Piece is supposed to be. And by the way, I liked it. I liked what he had to say. If he sticks with this and grows off of it in a way that makes sense, I'm totally down.
Yep.
All the luck in the world.
This important aspect of the Straw Hat Pirates live action victory while participating in a public Ask Me Anything session on the television subreddit, providing his first insight into his dedication to source material accuracy in response to Peach Lord. I'm guessing that's on subreddit, I suppose. Asking by the user in One Piece will often say goodbye to the characters and not see them again for 100, 200 or more chapters. Do you plan to create original material to give characters like Kobe, Buggy, Ace, or Garp stuff to do in the seasons they otherwise wouldn't appear in? Owens affirmed that the series production crew was not looking to necessarily make stuff up. That's a thumbs up right there in my books. They are still open to.
By the way, this also costs less.
Yes,
by a lot.
They're still open.
If you don't bring him back for 100 appearances, if your guy prices out on you, let's say he turns into the next Keanu or next Bruce Willis, and he's just out of your reach, you can recast him. It's been 100 episodes.
Exactly. They were still open
previously on
to boosting screen time for certain characters, but only if it was done in accordance to Oda's own supplemental materials. There are a lot of characters who people love, and we won't necessarily see them in the main story all the time, he explained. If there are cover stories, canon tales told by Oda in a single panel, entries across the cover pages of multiple chapters, or side stories that include these characters, they are definitely up for consideration. So let's see, as per some of his manga here. So the kanji on his jacket says justice, kanji on Suke says secret. Okay. All right. Super. Further press on the possibility of his potentially deviating from the original manga by Sherpa Shasha, who inquired, with the production time on the show being so long and streamers generally canceling everything after 3 seasons, how long do you see this show going? And would drastically cut material from the source material if Netflix came to you and said they'll do one final season? Owen once again made it adamantly clear, how in the end of the Toei Tecmo developed video game One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, they throw a bunch of Yonko stuff into Dressrosa. In the final levels of the game, my intention is never to do that. I don't want to rush things or create a false ending of the show, said the showrunner. When we know we're coming to an end, I hope to appropriately finish the story where we are and hope that people will pick up the anime or manga and continue the journey. There you go. That's reasonable.
That sounds like he's alluding to jumping around through, not jumping around, but going, say, it sounds like in a reasonable way, say forward through the continuity, but sticking with these people who don't show up for 100 issues.
Yeah.
Because then maybe they're around for 10. Either way, any way you look at it, this is actually a great idea, because if your show gets canceled by Netflix, the format lends itself to missing a year. If you can't get new distribution, but you only have so much, the concept you have also lends itself to a movie.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's an idea.
And if you don't make it back for 10 years, you can campaign the whole time while working on something else. And when you bring it back, it'll be huge. Your actor may have turned into Clooney, and now people want to see him again in his old role, and you'll get like a movie on your time. The way I see it, this is an unqualified win.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's still going to be compressed compared to the anime and the manga, but it's still going to be paced out perfectly for TV.
Right, because there's not 1,000 episodes of
exactly. There's a lot.
Hopefully.
Well, think about this, right? Think about like real world production, right? The real world. So maybe like Netflix gives him one more season. So what he does is he ends that particular series of stories for these characters, setting up their comeback at some point in the future. And let's say the next deal is ramshackle, and he's only got, but he goes with other characters just as established to this manga, but not to the TV audience, but just as valid. If that show doesn't work out, you've still got the original characters that did work out in this first One Piece. Your other One Piece isn't a reboot, a sequel, or any kind of remake. It's just another chapter in this still true to source material thing. You're not going to make any. No one will be thrilled because people like sameness, but you're going to be able to have some like control of people's rage or whatever. You're going to be able to say, look, this is like still true to the source. And like, again, 5 years down the road, if this and even if this next iteration doesn't come off so cleanly, you could be like, okay, we can walk away from these guys and we'll make our movie with our other people, and if you could only get some of the same actors back, that's kind of perfect. Honestly, this was made for the chaotic world we live in now where contracts change. And in streaming, you can't give people a 10-year deal. The Star Trek people killed that early. The new Trek people killed that early.
Yeah, true.
No one wants to do that anymore.
Yeah.
No. Turning to discuss Owen's personal production philosophy in a more general sense, Zogonzo, God, some of these people's names. Then asked the showrunner, how important is it for the people involved with an adaptation to be fans of the original material? And do you think being a fan makes some decisions harder? To which he replies, is it absolutely necessary? No. Is it incredibly helpful? Yes. Being a fan of something means you understand it on a deeper deeper level. You love and study it. As a creator, my fandom helps me identify what is important for the story because I know it, but also what is important to fans because I am one. Often I ask myself, if I weren't working on the show, how would this potential change make me feel as a fan? Owens added. I wouldn't say it made the job harder. It gave me a good position to fight for the things that I believed in.
I just want to say I want to believe this guy,
good.
but I want to believe this guy. The only problem I have is I've already met Ryan Johnson. Said the same things until I saw what happened. But yeah, so far A+ on what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's good. It really bodes well for the future of this particular show. We have a showrunner who is a fan of the material and will hopefully keep it accurate. I mean, no deviations.
And damage control is built into your concept.
That's right.
I love that. How do you not love that? So if he loses his Netflix deal, you know what? That doesn't mean you're not viable. You could almost definitely get a loan based on the success of the show this far. You'd have to start doing things really badly and send them in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
How many installments are we into One Piece now? Is it done? Did it drop at once? Was it a drop or is it
one
episodic?
season right now? Just
one season. It's like,
but we've got the whole
episodes,
thing, and we've seen it, and we're
thing.
Oh, but right now
we're
we're
yeah.
Where are we at?
Just season
4?
1.
Just
no,
season
where are
1.
we at? And the episode count is, but season 1's in the books.
8.
Yeah.
8 episodes.
Okay. So another. All right. So if we
something
so
like
if
that.
we end up with 8, 16, 24, right, episodes at the end of a 3-year deal, if they tell you this is your last season, you still have the rights to make this. You could get a loan or you could shop it. So as long as you don't tank your last season, Game of Thrones, as long as you don't tank your last season, like, you know what? You even have like the freedom and damage control built into this from the amount of manga you have that it can, if you need 2 years and it comes back on Paramount, it's like, it's not going to damage things too much.
Right.
If,
I mean, given how popular the anime and manga is, the live action, I think you'll have streamers lining up, competing, trying to get a piece of this action if Netflix drops it.
They're not going to be able to.
Plus, or there's like a number of streamers out there who would probably throw money at
It'll always have a house to go to.
It'll always
talk to Jeff Bezos. He'll buy any fucking thing.
Yeah, because I mean,
he's an idiot.
But he's totally 100% right. I mean, because how long have we heard? I mean, what he says is totally true. You know, as long as you're a fan and you want to produce this, it's going to be done right. But then again, how many times have we heard from, I don't know, so many producers and directors?
That's why I'm saying Ryan Johnson said that.
Exactly. You know, oh, yes, I've been a fan of
the
this.
People behind Cowboy Bebop just didn't care.
Oh,
I mean, if only
they cared about something, just not making a good Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, if only we had this love and respect for the Cowboy Bebop anime, they could have adapted that to live action. It would have been awesome.
No, I'm going to go into this. Favreau liked Star Wars. He presented The Mandalorian, which was good.
Oh, yes.
That's somebody who,
it was pretty good.
Yeah, his hands were tied a little bit from the higher up idiot person, we know who we're talking about, but still he pushed what he could and it was good. And it's like, if somebody likes the source, this should be a template of where to go from here on. Everybody should look at this and say it's a success. Why don't we do it this way?
And also where not to go. Look at poor John Favreau, if you would, for a moment. He loses a power struggle to control Ahsoka. Oh God, oh no. And just decide nopes the hell out of Disney. They say he was the better one. I don't know. The problem with poor John Favreau is because of the Mandalorian season 3 and everything else that happened. He comes out of this with his name as author of, like, I think it's 30 straight terrible fucking episodes, right? Since the rescue, we have 30. Book of Boba Fett too, right? We have 30 stories penned by John Favreau that are fucking awful.
There'll always be the the rumors, the murmurs of how much interference Favreau was getting, like how much
he didn't walk. He left his name on it. All you have is your reputation in Hollywood. There's other studios.
Yeah.
He made Iron Man. No, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. He has to prove himself.
I still think he was getting some interference, some.
I think so too.
While I believe that, While I believe that, I, if she has a golden parachute, so to say, he could have walked.
He could have walked, but I think
he's not
there's
some
a
actor.
I think there's a bit in Disney that would have said, "Okay, bye, see ya. Don't let the door hit you on the way out," because they didn't respect Favreau enough to let him have free reign. They had somebody else come in and interfere with his.
It wasn't about respect, was it?
Actually, I'll correct you on there. He's actually a good actor.
It was about his plumbing, wasn't it? It was about his plumbing, wasn't it?
Possibly.
And what kind of plumbing's view that he was going to take as a plumber. And Dave Filoni, he was much more, even though he still had the same kind of plumbing as Favreau, he was much more much more willing to be a drain rather than a faucet, so to speak, as far as his outlook writing.
So eventually, another person would ask Owens, in the light of his success in adapting One Piece, what advice would you give to showrunners of future adaptations of beloved manga or comics? To which he would assert in reply, my advice would be to fight for what you believe in. If you're adapting something that you legitimately love, fight for what it needs to be. Stay true as true as possible, while also understanding that you're not the only voice and you may not always win, but your fandom and knowledge are powerful weapons. True. 100% true. If you're really 100% a diehard fan and you know the material inside out, you really honestly can't fail. You can't, because there are thousands of fans that are out there, with you that know the material just as good as you. And if you stay true to that, you always have a winning recipe no matter what. So to this end, Owens would also reassure viewers that though it was not covered in the first season where it chronologically should in the live action series strictly adhered to the manga's original timeline, he and his team had every intention of tackling the Logetown arc. Met with another person's questions. Are there plans to do Logetown? I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. Logetown, or will it be skipped? The showrunner exclaimed, "Skipped? Never." So yeah, it's another arc in pretty much in the beginning manga, and anime as well. It wasn't included in season 1 because our episode number got reduced, he detailed, and to try to cram it in would not have done its service to it or the story. It had to share space with. Logetown is not cut. We just haven't gotten there yet. Okay, so
that's good.
Is it Loogie Town, like Hockaloogie?
No, I don't think so.
No, probably not. Maybe Luge Town. I'm not sure.
Logue Town.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering that for fans out there.
For our British fans, like Loo Town, could it be Toilet Town, right? Bathroom Town.
Nah. So, production of the
That's
second season is currently underway, with Owens having previously confirmed that its writer's room is up and running following the conclusion of the 2023 Writers Guild of America strike. So, yeah, there we go.
That's good to hear. I mean,
there we go.
I can certainly see how the seasons could be compressed. I mean, given the amount of source material here, brevity is the soul of wit. There's also something to be said about pacing and choosing what to adapt and what to condense or compress. I mean,
and I found this was perfectly paced One Piece.
Yeah.
So, just enough action, not too long.
If they, it was perfect. If they could keep this momentum going, I'd love to see 10 seasons, 15 seasons.
Yep.
Oh man,
they could do that, and it would be glorious.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Netflix can commit to like a lot of seasons to something because one of their original shows, what was it, Orange is the New Black or something like that, that went on for quite a while. Lots of seasons. To that.
I mean,
so there's no excuse that they can't do the same thing.
They have the money, they have the track record, the experience to put behind something. It's just, do they have the will? And that's a scary point. Will they stand? They see this doing well. Will they stand behind it, or will they go, we don't want this? We want to push something else.
I
didn't watch Orange is the New Black. I'm sorry, just really quickly. Wasn't that about a short stay prison? Did it have like years off and then come back with just all new? So yeah, but like, didn't they take like miss a few years and come back and just have different people, and it just simply went on? It's like this person.
Oh no, it was one long story. It was one straight.
One long story. Okay, okay,
really good. I
didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
because I mean, here's the thing. If this made tons of cash on Netflix and total worldwide views, and everybody really said raving things about it, I think that's enough of a jiggle of the worm on the proverbial hook to to tell Netflix.
Does Netflix not like money? It's like
hey, we got a winner here.
No.
Try to commit as long as humanly possible. If they got the brains.
Netflix is twice shy because they almost got dragged under and destroyed at the beginning of the streaming era. And remember, this is the most prominent streaming company. During their biggest moment of growth, the New Trek Discovery people held a literal knife to their throats and kept delivering them Star Trek that they kept trying to reject. And they're the only ones who disentangled themselves from the New Trek people. They went through all the things that we say that we should praise people for. And Netflix got called on woke and woman and against women and other things like that, because they stood up to that toxic Star Trek contract where they would have had to give these people 3 seasons pay to leave.
No, I'm going to go on.
That could have tanked Netflix. So Netflix, I think, is afraid to give people more than 3 years because they gave Star Trek like a 6-year deal, and the Star Trek people built in a toxic golden parachute because bad robot is bad faith. Okay, so what happened was they delivered them Star Trek Discovery, and this is known. The Netflix said, we don't want the show. It's not Star Trek, and they said, "Fuck you. We have a contract." And they're like, "It's not Star Trek," and they officially returned it and showed it anyway because they had to. But what they did what they had to do. They like refused the file and sent an official letter. However the transfer was done, they refused it, and they sent a lawyer's letter saying they didn't want it every season for 3 seasons. And if you look at seasons 1, 2, and 3 of STD, there's fundamental changing going on through the whole thing. And I don't know if they're trying to satisfy Netflix, but a lot of people think they're trying to make it really bad so they would get fired, so they get the parachute and write another show. Double dip.
But I'm going back on one point. Yeah, I want to go back on one point, and I brought up Favreau. And you mentioned the latter stuff. Think about it. The first Mandalorian, season 1, was amazing. Brilliant. And then we have that scene with Luke. And that went against what certain Kennedy wanted. She wanted to race Luke. He's weak. Yeah.
And it was still plenty dumb. It was still plenty dumb.
But
it was great.
I love that scene.
I loved it as well.
That shows how he was.
Guys,
Wait, let me finish. He's one of the greatest Jedis of all time, and they showed that the copy of the scene, like Vader in the when he's taking out all the bot and everything, and it was so emotional. I still get emotional thinking about it, goosebumps. And I think she got ticked and she handcuffed him a little bit more after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Lots of interference from KK, the firing of Gina Carano, that kind of.
He was not happy about that either. She did a great job.
Favreau, that threw a lot. That was a lot of damage to Favreau's plans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they kept interfering with him up to
I just want to
Mark
say,
Hamill say it took 2 years.
She was going to be in Ahsoka. Rumor was so.
Yes. Well,
didn't Mark Hamill say that was. But didn't Mark Hamill say that was like 18 months or something like that between the beginning to end when it aired? Of not being able to talk about it, even though it had happened. So even though Cara Dune doesn't say, General Skywalker, which she should, because all she talks about is being a rebel and being from Alderaan, so she should know who Luke is for 2 very important reasons. Maybe they just they couldn't let anybody know. Maybe that's I might if the level of interference is that high, we have to say it started with the rescue, which I will say this, I did love that it gave us a brave Luke, but it was still Disney-fied. He didn't kill anybody. He killed robots.
True.
Well,
He
it
just
would
beat
be
up
against
Gus.
his character to kill people.
But he wasn't this character sucking
Stormtroopers?
on the. He wasn't sitting there drinking the tit milk from these whatever the heck
Yeah,
they were,
yeah.
and you know
Right.
he was loser on it. Like, he brought him back to what Skywalker was, you know, and
Exactly.
Skywalker was never a murderer. So
Just to pop, don't you think that's very much in Luke Skywalker's nature to kill people if you were trying to stop him from doing the right thing? Then you become someone he has to delete, right? We see Luke Skywalker kill how many stormtroopers? You know what I mean? They swapped out the people that Luke Skywalker normally kills so that he could destroy things with no consequence. The dark troopers that were just robots, so they had him kill a bunch of Cylons. You know what I mean? It would have had more weight if he killed a bunch of people. I'm not trying to say that anybody's vision is wrong or that seeing a brave Luke wasn't cool. I'm saying, like, right away, if we want to say interference, like, there's two things that would have made it better. Would anyone have liked to see Luke just to fuck up a bunch of stormtroopers?
Oh,
instead
yeah,
of
it would have
killing
been nice.
people?
Yeah, for sure.
But I think Kennedy
you
looked
look
at
at
it
him
like
as a Jedi master or a Jedi. It kind of goes against him and
Their
his
belief. Yeah,
relationship to
exactly.
the Force, his
Yeah.
belief in the Force.
But it wouldn't. Here's the thing: it would go against his belief in the Force. But the thing is, if you're keeping someone hostage and they have to be rescued, the episode's called "The Rescue," right? Luke Skywalker, we've seen him rescue people. How many people die rescuing Han? If he has to rescue people and you're trying to keep them, if you're an evildoer, he's going to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And if you try to stop it, well, then you might get yourself deleted when he's defending himself. And if you really get in his hair, he'll delete you on purpose.
But
it's
Well,
a
he would
little
take a hand or a limb as opposed to killing. He would
He was very
maim
and
before he
Disney,
would kill.
and
Luke
that's
was
not
very
very
spiritual.
Disney. No one's lost a limb in all of Disney. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Fine, but
the main part, the main
PCR's
reason I'm bringing
PCR's
this up,
right.
Wait.
PCR's
The main
right.
part I'm bringing this up though is I think after that it went against what Kennedy was trying to push of erasing him completely and making him a joke, and it made him look strong again. And she's like, "Oh no!" And I think she handcuffed him a little bit more after that.
Right, because KK wanted that the reaction that Luke got.
Oh,
and when
the world
at the
just
reveal,
exploded.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she wanted that reaction for Rey. She couldn't
Yeah.
understand
Yes.
why didn't
Exactly.
Rey get that kind of reaction. So
And
yeah,
still
there was
doesn't understand.
Yeah,
I
still
know.
doesn't understand. Yeah.
And I'm going to say
Okay.
right now, Ray, if you would have fleshed out Ray, she could have been interesting. But here, she knows powers immediately. She knows how to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't, guys.
So
did they
as
do that
we
on purpose, or
land
are they
this
lazy?
plane-
Yeah, it's too
Both.
bad. That conversation
Both.
was really getting really crescendoing as we have to get out of here.
yeah.
It's too bad.
I know,
That was getting good.
It was both. She's a Mary
Oh,
Sue. It's
man.
both. So I want to thank everybody that was here in the chat. I want to thank Mr. Gumby, who I'm guessing is all the way in the UK. So thank you, Mr. Gumby, for joining today. And I hope you like and subscribe. And I hope everybody likes and subscribes and spreads the link around because that would really help me out as well. I want to thank Killer Rabbit from Space that also dropped by, and Len Rod as well, and Rocco the Brave, and the illustrious Pops also did drop
Yes.
by. Thank you,
Yes.
Pops. I really, really appreciate it. We also had Saber the Doom Squirrel. Sorry, I couldn't include you into the chat in here, but we got our panelists, so who knows? Maybe another time. You never know. Also that came by. We also had Stark of Iron, Tony Stark, that also came on by. And I'm assuming he's probably on his way to work right now. So thanks, Tony. Really appreciate you being here.
Jury
Glad-
duty. Oh yeah, work.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the jury duty thing.
No,
Yeah.
it's only on Mondays. I remember. So yeah, it's work.
Oh, okay. And we also had Dadman Walking that dropped on by, and Real Wade Gaming Nation also as well. And
Thank you,
who
Real
else did we
Wade.
do? We
Yep.
got the Titan.
Rocco the
and-
Brave.
Yep, Rocco the Brave and the Titan and Snail Messiah.
Snell, my
And-
man.
And that's everyone that came by the chat. I really appreciate you guys coming by. And
Show love and like and subscribe to this amazing
That's right.
gentleman.
That's right.
Sharing
And,
is caring.
All these amazing gentlemen. So yes.
and to all these guys. And that being said, Foggy Brains, what do you have on the docket for you?
Not much. Same as usual, being stupid and weird and crazy.
That's a good summary.
Exactly. Oh, and don't
So-
forget, I am
Yeah.
Canadian.
That's right. I am Canadian.
Look it up on YouTube. It's an awesome commercial.
Exactly. It is such a good commercial.
I
Pop
wanted to
Culture
sing.
Republic, what do you have?
Upcoming reviews, more live streams in hopefully near future. I'm going to start ISOM #1 this week and make my way through that, and looking forward to doing a nice review on that. That looks like a very good quality comic book right there.
Excellent. And Admiral Teague. What do you got going on?
Hey guys, it's your buddy Admiral Teague. I don't know how many subscribers I exactly have. Somewhere between 360 and 525 or more. I don't know. YouTube has been giving them back to me in small handfuls all day. Thanks to the other people on YouTube in the group chats who've given me context on what goes on when you get a surge of subs. I guess, licking my wounds here, my failure to get 500. I'll take the 100 people this week. Thank you all for responding positively to me. F you, YouTube, for the weirdness of it. And I'll be back on Thursday with Yellowstone. And I just want to thank Mike for having me. He's a gentleman. And like my friends who are on the panel, it's always great talk.
Oh, yes.
I enjoy your guys' company. It's always
We're getting like super freaking passionate. Yeah, I again we call ourselves the League of 20th Century Gentlemen because, like, I don't know, I'll hold the door for a woman. What can I tell you?
There we go.
Here.
I'll have to come up with a new intro for that, I guess. So the
It'd be pretty cool. Like it has to. Some of it would have to be filmed in like a haberdashery and like a 19th century barber shop, right?
Yes.
Like bowler hat has to play a role in it. Really good. You know what? Honestly, you know what we should consider doing. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I am trying to tell you to do. Here's an idea to do. maybe like for like 10 minutes per show, we could all talk about like the change in seasons and like what we're like, how our wardrobe has been affected and how we think that different men can approach fashion for the fall. Like, for instance, I pulled out my gray window pane blazer this week because in New York, it's a little bit cooler. It's like 59 degrees. Got a little warmer, 64.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of guys don't know the value of a good brown suede jacket.
No.
Or rather a coat. Don't get a suede jacket. Get a suede coat.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that being said, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody in the chat for joining in. Snail Messiah, I'm going to give you one last comment here. Are you also going to be talking about feelings and shoes?
No,
we don't have a hallway.
So.
We don't have a hallway, but shoes, yes. Shoes, possibly.
I have a lack of wingtips, so.
Yeah.
I just got my first new pair of like wingtip style shoes in years and years and years and years, and I just decided it was time for the classic wingtip. But it has sneaker soles, so I think it's kind of a viable conversation. Like when to wear a watch in the 21st century. I don't know. It might be fun.
Coming to the CW this fall, Titillating Tuesdays.
Yes,
fashion tips with Teague, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Teague guy for the straight guy.
There we are.
Like, so I don't know exactly if I'm right. I'm a heterosexual, but I think it's a good time to start wearing that natural brown leather jacket as fall sets in.
There we go. So everybody out in the chat, thank you for dropping on by. Really, really appreciate it. Please, again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Spread the news around and subscribe to these fine gentlemen because without you guys out there in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or on Rumble, thanks to everybody that's watching over on the Rumble channel as well. Subscribe to these gentlemen because without you guys, we don't have anything to talk about, and we don't have fun talking about the stuff that we do and to try to make you guys aware. That's what we do. Again, like I've said numerous times, our pain is your pleasure, so you don't have to go through various.
And we watch the stuff so you don't have to.
Exactly.
And even if we have to, we want to. You know what? These shows that have been co-opted from us, the one thing they aren't is fun. Yep. We can have some fun with them. We can put some fun back into it.
Mm.
And if nothing else happens, I think tonight or tomorrow there's going to be another episode of Wokey, and we'll at least have that fucking flaming trash fire to fucking talk about, because I predict that they can't make the small cohesiveness of episode 1 even last.
God,
and that was a mess.
Exactly.
That was very much like Doctor Strange multiverse.
That's right.
As in, it sucked.
And so, see, now it's Halloween, and October is the season. Thank you, chat, for coming on by, and I leave you with this.
There's no one left but me and him. When next we meet in Frankenstone, don't come alone.